didn't realize until I was about 18, I guess, that I really knew that it was what I wanted to do. I knew this was going to be my whole life, painting. I didn't know how I was going to do the painting. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to get involved in commercial art, or if I was going to do regular oil paintings, or what. But the need just became stronger and stronger every year. I started working with just basic geometric shapes and forms, and I expanded from that. I started with 2 or 3 shapes and just worked those shapes out into compositions, and it just grew upon itself. It like crystallized. First it was 1 or 2, then 3, then 4, and pretty soon I was trying to make figures or something out of the shapes. And I was also experimenting a lot. And somehow in my newer work, now the work that I'm doing now, it actually combines all this with the geometric shapes and the ideas of infinity, and my feelings from childhood are all combined into my new pieces. It grew over a long period of time. I don't even know what I'm going to do on the canvas many times when I'm expressing myself, so it's very hard for me to think how other people, if they feel the same way I do when I'm painting it on the canvas or if I'm expressing myself. The work that I do is, a lot of times, it's very spontaneous. The colors are very spontaneous. There are some compositions that I work on in which I do work out the colors a little, but some I don't even know what colors I'm going to use. I prefer that actually, because it's almost like doing something that's very expressionistic, at the same time very controlled. And sometimes I work out the compositions, and the compositions, I know exactly what I want on the canvas, exactly how they're going to be. And sometimes I just create the compositions directly on the canvas. Think it reflects anything intentional about what goes on in our world. I mean, a lot of artists go out and intentionally try to pick out certain things that are happening now or have happened and incorporated them into their work. But with me, if there is anything in the work that shows something from the outside, it's totally unintentional. It's just something that has come through me and into the canvas. Hopefully, what I want the painting to do is make people feel good. Even though many times what's in the paintings are very serious. The themes are very serious sometimes, and the ideas are very serious, but they're not really meant to be serious. They're meant to be fun. They're meant to be enjoyed.
I saw his paintings in an exhibition in one of the colleges, and that's where I first got interested in his work. This was one of the paintings in the exhibit, and basically as soon as I saw it, it struck me, with the attitude that I try to expose at times. I like the painting. I like the painting for its color, its emotion, and its feeling. At the time, I was redecorating my home, and I was looking for something for it's a dining area primarily, and this painting conveyed an emotion in me which said, you know, welcome, come, enjoy. And that's why I chose it to put in my dining area. He struck me as, almost as the painting struck me, as a genuine, warm, happy person. I mean, it kind of takes that, you know, if you're going to invoke a feeling in a painting, you kind of have to have that attitude. And I think in this particular painting, he may have had that kind of day. He had a very good day to assemble the color, the structure, and the attitude I think the painting presents.
The clients that have bought my work have been very inspired by my work. A lot of times they see things in their childhood that I put into the paintings. Which is really great about my work is that it seems to touch the children in many of people. A lot of things that are in the paintings, I don't even realize I'm putting in the paintings. They're just feelings and emotions that I have, and they just end up there. There's things in there that I don't even know are in there, and people pick them out, and they're feelings that I actually have.
Because we are a gallery with a good reputation, there's a self-selection process going on, and artists who are very serious about their work usually submit slides. From slides, we ask to see the original work. And when we see Bertone's slides, we were interested, we asked them to come in. When you see Bertone's work, you're struck immediately by his sense of humor. And that is clearly an acceptable and absolutely positive trend in contemporary art. At one time, people felt things had to be heavy and serious in order to be acceptable. But our definition of what is good art has expanded, and humor is certainly a part of what we can accept and enjoy in art today. Bertone combines humor with a great deal of mastery of color and image, and he has a very unique vocabulary. His vocabulary is distinctly his. It's endless fantasy, endless charm, and a brilliant color palette, all which makes for both well-realized and very charming work. He's a professional, and when I see hundreds of artists every month, one of the qualities I look for is depth of commitment, ability to interact with new ideas, the ability and the desire to present oneself seriously as an artist, and the professionalism that you expect in finish and responsibility for one's work in developing your own clarity of vision. And Bertone fulfills my criteria in all those areas, and it's made me want to work with him increasingly because I can see his growth and his commitment.
Each of my pieces are approached as an individual. I mean, each piece that I do is its own world. Some pieces I have are very figurative. They are figurative pieces, which I do the female form, in which I approach by actually drawing the female form and overlapping them in a composition, and many times working out the colors before I actually paint the painting. Then there are the ones that I do, which are totally from my imagination, that I sit around and I relax and create these odd, strange compositions that I have inside me, deep inside me, and express them on canvas. And then there's the ones that I actually create directly on the canvas. So I really approach in many different ways. I try to make it very sensuous. I love doing it. I try to make it very light, very beautiful. I think it enhances the female form. I in no way try to make it look rude or gross or anything like that. It's very bright, very colorful, very innocent. In no way is it sexist. Yeah, with the childlike work, many times I just take things from my childhood and I express them on canvas. And sometimes they blend with the way I see things as an adult. So you get this very childlike quality with a very adult ideas. So it makes a very interesting thing, because most people, when they look at it, they see it as very happy, which I want them to, very light and beautiful, and childlike, which is exactly what I want them to see. But at the same time, there are serious things in there that sometimes people miss. I think it's more of a fascination with technology. I have a real fascination with it, and I like incorporating it into my work. I think it works very well with my work. I mean, I can work with shapes. I enjoy shapes very much. I enjoy painting reflective-like surfaces. I like the idea of the gears within. I know it seems a little backwards because I'm showing gears and stuff like that, and technology nowadays is more transistors and radio waves, which I do show in my work too. But it's just a symbol. It's just a symbol. With the space stuff, it's almost the same thing. I take things from my childhood, and which are I liked rocket ships and spacemen and things like that, and I incorporate them into my work. A lot of the space stuff, I also use simultaneous contrast because I can create a vibrating effect, which gives you that electric feel. Yeah, I think as a child I always fantasized about space. I mean, there were times where I used to just stand outside when the sky was filled with stars and just look up at all the stars and would just wish that I lived on one of those planets. I mean, it was just an amazing thing to me, how vast the sky was, how infinite. And sometimes I would just lay there on the ground and wish that a UFO would come, beam me up, and take me somewhere. No, I don't have any particular idea of what my work is going to become in the future. I do know that I have my own style, and it continues to be my style. I try to explore different things, different fun things, figures and ideas that I have. I have many drawings, many ideas. I don't know exactly what my work is going to become. One thing about my work is that people do respond. I mean, it's not like they say, oh, it's very nice, it's very pretty, and they go on. They really have an opinion. Whether they hate the work or whether they love the work, they do have an opinion for the work, which is great. Either way, I mean, I enjoy that they actually have a strong response. What I really want is my work to show who I am. I mean, that's really important to me. I mean, I try to express myself honestly, and if you really look into my paintings, it's me. And that's the reason why that my style is me, because I didn't actively try to create a style that, oh, this is a style that would be cool, or this is a style that, wow, this is neat, or this is intellectual, because I don't like to intellectualize my work. I mean, it's supposed to be very simple and me, and I like things simple. I like the world to be simple, so that I can relate to it.